What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Uh-oh. I've got more beeping in my ear. What's up, everybody? I am PokeTrev. Welcome to another Fireside Chat. This week, we have got a good friend of the channel, a wonderful, wonderful person. She hails from the land down under, as Men at Work like to say. She is an artist. She is a content creator. She is a woman of the people, if you will. So we very much are happy to welcome and introduce our friend Handmade by Tenille, or just Tenille.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good today. It is the weekend here, so
I mean,
good.
It's technically the weekend now. It's Friday night for us here in the the Wayback Machine, living in the past.
Yeah. Not from the future. It's 11 a.m. here, so on Saturday.
Wow.
So
goodness gracious. So you are 13 hours ahead of us.
Yes.
It beats the 12 and a half hours that Shed is. I always found that so fascinating. So watching his stuff and talking with him, I know he did the 24-hour stream. We were trying to coordinate and everything and trying to figure out what time worked best, and realizing that he was 12 and a half hours ahead.
Yes.
I'm just like, why the half hour? How does that even
work? And they're
work?
right in the middle of the country too. So like Perth, who is the opposite end to where I am, is 3 hours, but then they're in the middle and they're only in a half hour.
That's so bizarre.
It's so weird.
That's so bizarre. Time zones are just they're a fallacy created by the man to make us all go, huh?
Yeah.
So how are you doing this fine weekend, Tenille?
Good. I went out for breakfast. And I'm going shopping later for Pokemon cards, so it's gonna be a good weekend.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if y'all have TikTok over there, if there are even TikTok shops, but there's I've dialed back my spending a lot, just to try and make it so that like my collection can grow, but also I'm not breaking the bank. And I just got a box of Raging Surf for like $40 shipped.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm $40 US. So I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. Awesome.
Hopefully it's a real box.
It is. So well, yeah, I was very apprehensive, but one of the other mods in Discord, Jack the Dripper, shout him out. He swears by it, and if everybody that's ordered from them so far, or ordered from TikTok so far, has gotten legit stuff. I did see a few questionable things on there. It's like, but it's very obviously not real. So I just did a quick report because you can't buy you can't buy a 360 piece team up for $95. Now you might be able to get like 3 packs of team up for $95, but so we're gonna go over here to the chat and just say hey to everybody. We have saying hi Max, how are you doing? Better Value Charmander, what's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Kids Go Wild, hello. We have Package Total, happy Friday. Quasi, what's going on, man? Tyler Reagan's in here. Hey Tyler, how you doing, buddy? Quasi says I pretty much only buy on TikTok now.
Gosh, don't get me started on another avenue. Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even remember where I have builder boxes from. That's how you just go everywhere. Like,
right. So I usually we'll kind of jump all over the place a little bit before we Sniffs in here. We'll jump all over the place before we get to the Q&As. I do have a Q&A set up for anybody that wants to ask questions. Please throw your questions in there. We will get to them for sure. So I'll start actually kind of in the middle, Tenille. When did you because I went back and watched, you've been doing this for a little while now. When did you decide that like running a shop and doing rip and ships and all of that, when did you decide that's what you wanted to do as like your full-time hobby?
So I have gone through a career change. So was a teacher. We found out through this process as well, I'm autistic. So I was being overworked as a teacher because I just said like yes to everything. So I actually had a breakdown with that. So I ended up getting into back into my hobbies, and from there I was like, I need a way to make a little bit of money just to get through the weeks. And yeah, I kind of started doing like my own videos, and then I was like, I cannot afford to keep ripping my own packs. Then I was
Right.
like, how can I make this cost effective? Because I still want to rip packs and I still want to connect with people. But then I thought, hey, let's give rip and ships a go, and from there, yeah, it kind of like snowballed.
That's awesome. And and you mentioned it, and we'll start there. So being autistic, I don't personally understand, obviously, what that's like, but how does that affect your ability to connect and to just, because again, I'm blissfully ignorant on the matter, but how does it affect your
Mhm.
ability to perform? Because you until you said something, I never would have guessed it, because hanging out in other people's lives and seeing you in the chat and just sitting in your lives and watching you, you've got a lot of charisma. You're very outgoing. And I do have, I have a couple of friends who are autistic, and they're, I think, higher end on the spectrum. And so
Yep.
they don't have that level of just connectivity and charisma. So how
Yeah.
does that just how do you cope with that? How do you overcome that?
Yeah. So like as you said, it's a spectrum. So
Right.
I'm thankful that like socially I'm quite adaptive and can change and shift to what I need. Mine is more like sensory needs.
Right.
So a lot of issues like wearing the hats and that kind of thing,
Mhm.
it's like a safety thing. So a lot of
Right.
people just see or recognize me as a hat wearer. I sometimes wear hats
Right.
and people are like, I take it off and they're like, "Are you okay?" But it just means as well like strong interest. So obviously, people
Right.
ask me, they're like, "You're autistic, so what's your strong interest?" And I'm like, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Pokemon. Like, I think it's pretty obvious. So,
Right.
yeah. So I'm pretty lucky that my main like if you'd call them symptoms are yeah
Right.
sensory and anxiety. So I get quite a
Okay.
bit of anxiety, but like I push through it. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely, now I can relate to the hyperfixation and the like the overstimulation, because I have a lot of anxiety
Yep.
and depression and stuff, and also ADD. So
Yep.
I definitely, those are things that I can relate to. But no, so I remember I think you touched on it whenever I had Good Times on. One of your questions was, about the diversity and everything in the
Yep.
community. Um, there is lacking diversity in the community. What do you think that we as a community could do better to try and fix that?
Yeah, so like I think about this personally just with my own kind of platform um in trying to just help recognize the smaller people, if that makes sense. So
Sure.
like
Absolutely.
myself, like I'm still only 2K. You're working towards your 1K.
Right.
We're still tiny when you
Yeah.
look at the overall scheme. But then there's some people on there with 20 subs just pushing through um because they're doing it because they love it. And that's how we all
Right.
started. We all started
Yeah.
because we loved it. And I think I more did it maybe because I was like, oh, then I have a reason I have to open things.
Right.
Like Peter, I'm
Yeah.
buying these things. I need it for the YouTube.
Right. Sure.
Um,
Oh,
but going and visiting smaller creators,
right.
particularly for myself, yeah, trying and finding other women or people with different, needs and disabilities. There are people out
Sure.
there already on YouTube on other platforms as well,
Right.
but yeah, they just kind of need to be highlighted a little bit more, I
Right.
think. And
Well,
like, this is a perfect platform as well, I think.
oh,
So
absolutely. I
yeah.
agree. And it makes me think of like Ian with Ian. There, he is a huge supporter of mental health and
Yep.
stuff like that. And I think it's very important. You know, Anybody who thought this was just going to be a hectic and wily podcast,
Chaotic.
it's probably gonna end up being one of the deepest ones we do.
Yeah.
Real quick, want to shout out Cali Dude's in here. How you doing, brother? My wife, Mrs. PokeTrev's, is here. It's okay if you're late, sweetie. I know you had a day, so you're just unwinding. Um, So yeah, no, I think that's very important. And honestly, like a lot of the reason why I love this so much is because it is an escape from what we have going on in our day to day, man. Like Vault's lives, he does them twice a week. It's 2 hours long, and it's 2 hours you can just, even if you got like a lot of times it'll happen towards the tail end of work for me. So I'll have it on in the background while I'm finishing up whatever I have to do at my desk. Because usually it's like first 2 hours of work, last 2 hours of work, I am married to my desk. The rest of the time I spend walking my site and interacting with the tenants and whatnot. But during those like those 4 hours a day, I can't leave my desk because I have too much
Yeah.
going on. And it is an escape. It's an escape from whatever else we have going on. You can just hang out with a bunch of people that are
Yep.
like-minded. They all care about the same things. And, it's not hurting anybody. It's not, harmful to anybody unless you are 3-pack Bundy buying 3 packs of base set. Although he did hit the Charizard yesterday. And I was very happy for him, man, because the dude buys 3 sets every break. And I knew he was going to do it for this one. And I was so afraid we were going to hear random fella in somewhere America walked into oncoming traffic for dropping.
I thought it was just going to be Brian again.
Dude, Brian Lyle, he's a monster. That dude is inhuman. So, but no, it is. It is an escape that doesn't do you any harm. It's good.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like for me as well, like you mentioned with Vault's lives, like for me, I suffer from PTSD as well to do with my teaching work. And generally when I'm in a Vault live, that means I've had a nightmare. So I've woken up and he's on really early in the morning for me. So it's kind of like a good place. And like I totally, by the end of his live, I've forgotten like about that completely. So it's a great way to just relax.
Right. Yeah, I guess I don't, and I always forget that because usually, those first 2 hours at work where I'm stuck at my desk and I'm flipping through emails and stuff is whenever you're on or Woody's on or, Adsy's on. So it's like, that's whenever I get to catch you guys as live. And I forget that is late night for you guys. So middle of the day for us is late night for you. Let's see. Oh, my wife just said it's been a week at work, so unwinding is needed. I know. Yeah, my wife, she works. She does works at a senior care facility, so it's definitely been a week for her. So yes, absolutely. So we do have some questions before we can kind of fill in my questions with their questions. So Kids Go Wild asks, how did y'all know each other? That is kind of a simple answer. I mean, it's easy. It's just hanging out in live events, but we were that one came up before the live started and we were trying to kind of figure it out. And like you said, I think it was Good Times back when Good Times Gaming. Back when he did Pokemon card opening live streams instead of being too cool for school and doing Fortnite like everybody else. Now.
he's just shifted. He's gone right off the end there.
Yeah, and actually, this can kind of feed into the next topic. So I became aware of you obviously from Good Times streams, but at the time I didn't know you were a content creator. I just knew you as an artist, and you showcased a lot of your art. And I do have a piece I want to give away of his very early on before he and I were buddies. And I was just hanging out in lives and had gotten featured in one of the hits of the week. I had won a giveaway. In fact, I have a video, very early video that I did. It was called "We Won a Good Times Giveaway," and I think that in that video is where I got I think it was an Eevee pin that you had made.
Yeah.
So tell me about, it's easy to figure out like, oh, you're an artist, but tell me about like what compelled you to try it, to take the leap and do art as a side hustle, if you will.
Yeah, so it all kind of like stems as well from that breakdown that I had to do with work. So they got me into art therapy because my choices were group therapy or art therapy, and I was like, oh yeah, I think I'd rather be doing something while I talk about my feelings. So they got me into that, and then obviously kind of like my collecting and stuff started happening again. I was like, hey, instead of just making random art, because I was painting like landscapes and stuff, which a lot of people weren't really interested in, I thought, oh, why don't I start drawing Pokemon? Like, let's do something there. So then I started with stickers first up, and then someone said, I really like the sticker design. Why don't you make it into a pin? So then from there, I just started producing those enamel pins, and now I've got 31 different styles, and
Wow.
people are asking for more, and it's a bit of a process because
Sure.
you got to get designs approved, and then they cost. It's the molds.
Right.
The molds cost up to 2,000 USD for a
Wow.
set of the pins are cheap, but the molds are where the
Right.
money is. So I just love it, and it's something that I do on my iPad. I just digitally draw, so I can do it anywhere. I do it often while I'm watching people's lives as well. So
That's cool.
I kind of jumped headfirst into it, really before thinking about it.
Right. That's great. And that's one of those things. So for me, therapy comes in several forms. A lot of it is just kind of like um sitting and lurking in lives. Like chances are I've got a live going during the day. I try to stay off of YouTube at home at night and whatnot, but I'll have something playing in the background at my desk at all times. And if you don't see me chatting, I'm just there, but I'm not, like my wife said, no peopling. I feel that. Yeah, no peopling. But I just don't feel like I don't feel like interacting and engaging. But for me, it's reading a lot and writing. Like, so I need to get more into writing. I need to get back into writing. But that is how I get all of the everything out of that's keeping me down and kind of weighing in on me, because I suffer badly from overstimulation, which is a wonderful thing when you have a 15-month-old child at home that just like is all the stimulation all the time always. But I've got a great partner. I've got a great partner, and she, my wife, she is my rock, and she helps keep me from going totally insane. So we have, let's see. We do have another question. Tyler Reagan said, if you could pick a Pokemon to have an alt art, which Pokemon would it be? And if you could incorporate 3 other Mons, which would they be? All right. So first, let's start with, if you could pick any Pokemon to have an alt art, which Pokemon would it be?
Scyther. Hands down, man. Like, Scyther's my OG. I mean, he got half an alt art, kind of, but he was chopped in half with Paldea. Where he's upside down.
Oh,
in
the
Spidops.
Spidops. Yeah, the Spidops art rare.
But Pokemon just hating on it.
Oh, dude. So I'm gonna have to, like, I want my answer to be Typhlosion. Like, I really want that to be my answer, but I do feel like the absolute disrespect done to my dude Ho-Oh in the Sword and Shield block, because Lugia got his whole set, set, and no Ho-Oh. We got a Ho-Oh full art, but no alt art. So I'd either say Ho-Oh or Typhlosion, just because I feel like a Typhlosion alt art could just be amazing. And then the second half of that question, if you could incorporate 3 other Mons, which would they be? So 3 other Pokemon to cameo in your perfect Scyther.
I'd probably have to go Pinsir, because that kind of ties in with like a Safari Zone type thing would be sick. So probably Pinsir, probably something like Gloom and Butterfree. Yeah.
I like that. So Scyther being the mainstay with Pinsir, Gloom, and Butterfree. I dig that a lot. So with Typhlosion, I really feel like, honestly, Tyler said Pinsir and Heracross. Heracross would be cool in there.
Heracross would be cool.
Yeah.
Maybe even the grass sausage, Sudowoodo.
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to say that if I had a Typhlosion alt art, I would actually want it to kind of not mirror, not copy, but be a better version of the Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. So you have Typhlosion on one end and Meganium on the other, and them going at it. I'd love to see something like that. And then with Ho-Oh, I would like to see Ho-Oh with the 3 legendary beasts. So Raikou, Entei, and Suicune. So almost something like, like you got the Burning Tower there with the 3 beasts at the bottom. Cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Kind of like the way they did the art, maybe with the golds in Crown Zenith. Like do it like a 3-piece. Like 4-piece, sorry.
Yeah. I'd love something like that. That would be really, really amazing. So all right, and now I'm almost pulling like a Quentin Tarantino here. Are you familiar with Tarantino?
Yes.
his work?
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yes.
He did a terrible Australian. Like, I've got a really, really passable Australian accent, but in Django Unchained, he pulled off the worst Australian accent in the world. It was egregious. So what got you? I assume you're in your 30s.
30 exactly. Yeah.
Oh, 30
Yep.
exactly. Okay, so
Yep.
I'm 33. So I assume at a young age you were interested in Pokemon. Did you
Yep.
ever have did you ever leave the hobby or leave it behind?
There were times when I wasn't collecting cards,
Right.
but every year I play the games. So, yeah, I
Awesome.
was never really away from it. But yeah, obviously, like a little bit harder to continually buy cards through like teenage years because I didn't work.
Right.
I decided to study and play sports. So, yeah, it was a little bit harder to collect a lot of cards. So it was kind of more a Christmas or a birthday present.
Right.
And then didn't really pick up that card collecting until I finished high school again,
Okay.
which I think it was XY era,
Oh, wow.
um, where I started really picking up the card collecting again. So yeah,
That's awesome. Man, all
yeah,
these conversations, it's gonna happen to me every single week because I got back into it during Pokemon Go. So I got the a great time to get into the hobby, but like the worst set to get into the hobby. So everybody
yeah,
that I talk to is like, oh yeah, we started, like good times. It's like, oh yeah, we got back into it when Unbroken Bonds came out. I'm
yeah,
like, man, that's such a fire set. Like,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
I
Mine was
wish.
definitely Evolutions, XY
Oh, see,
Evolutions.
yeah,
Yeah,
that came out
yeah,
at a weird time in my life, and I mean, I was big into I played Pokemon Go
hmm
religiously the day that it came out, but collecting the cards, I was collecting Magic the Gathering a lot still during that time. And that was my collectible card game because I played
yep,
Magic. I kind of talked about it with Sniffy last week. Like I played Magic really religiously, and it was one of those things that, like kind of you mentioned, you would get in and out of the Pokemon TCG all the time. That was me with Magic the Gathering. Once
yep,
I started playing Magic, that was what I did every other 3 years would get
yep,
back into it. But no, yeah, it's fascinating to see all of us come together and just have this love and everything, even though we've like been out of it or been into it,
yeah.
or just come from different spots
And
and
even
everything.
like younger kids getting into it for the
Oh
first
yeah,
time. Like this
absolutely.
is because I've picked up a part-time job at a toy store and they do sell some cards there. And just kids coming in and like literally with their pocket money buying their first
Right.
pack. And
What a cool
yeah,
thing to see.
just watching them. Kid pulled the Charizard SIR the other week from
Nice.
Obsidian and like literally like shaking and I'm like here like have a free top loader like this like this kid's gonna have a meltdown and he's like and the parents had no idea so like he's like showing mum's like oh yeah whatever and I'm like oh my god dude like I'm celebrating with him so I'm like yeah because like mum had no idea so
Right.
yeah so it was really cool to see them just kind of
Yeah.
coming in and they'll carry it on after we kind of slow
Oh,
down so
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, Snippy and I were talking about last week, like we are we're the old fogies of it, and we for the next 10 years and stuff we'll be paving the way for this group of kids that's 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and
Yep.
they're going to go into adulthood and they'll be out of the hobby, but then
Yep.
they'll reconnect with those memories as being kids. So our oldest, he's 11, and he has a mild interest, just you know well, let's see, oh yeah, my wife, yeah, the kid, so she
Oh, is
showed me
that
this
the one in
video.
the like in the Christmas PJs and he's
Yes,
opening
yeah,
up
yeah. He
yeah.
got he pulled the
And
rainbow
and
Charizard.
he was literally like the kid that came into the store.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. No, like yeah, that's such an
Insane.
amazing cool thing. And it's such an untouchable feeling. You know, I think the reason why I continue to open up Lost Origin, even though I'm so done with that set, like I don't need to open it anymore. It's because like I want to recapture that feeling of finally pulling that
Yeah.
Giratina, because it's the first time since being a kid that I felt like that. Oh my gosh, I hit the
Yeah.
chase. I got the card that I wanted.
Yeah.
But no, our 11-year-old, he has a very passing interest, and I think a lot of it has to do with like some of his friends enjoy it, and he knows that dad likes it, and
Yeah.
he's got a cool little stack and a collection and whatnot. But Our nieces are like, they watch all the opening streams and stuff and get involved in the giveaways, and every time they win something, they're super excited. So it is really cool to see the new generation come up, and it
And
reminds me
there's
of
this pure excitement too.
it
That's
is, it
the thing.
is.
It's not like, I know, like, watching YouTube for such a long time before I even got on it. I think that there are some people now that are just doing it for appearances sometimes, I feel. Whereas, like,
Yeah,
you see those kids and that that is like their whole world is like that card in that moment. So
right.
like it's really refreshing to kind of see that. And like, I did a stream where I was in store and I pack battled kids, and
That's
like
awesome.
that was just the most exciting thing for some of those
Right,
kids. One, because they were like, oh my god, this is like when I had less than 1,000 subs. They're like, oh
right.
my god, a famous YouTuber. To them, you have 3 subs, you're famous. Like, they don't care, they just love it. They're like, you're
Right.
on YouTube, wow,
Yeah.
can you sign something for me? And I'm like, okay.
Sure. Yeah,
But like,
why
yeah,
not?
their genuine excitement when they pull it, like, it makes you get back excited about the
Right.
hobby.
Absolutely. And and that is, you bring up a valid point, that purity of it, because everybody forgets that this is a children's card game.
Mhm.
Like, it's for kids. Now, granted, we're all a bunch of grown-up kids and whatnot, but you hear about it every single day in one of Opossum's videos or Rattle's videos. All these people out there, all these adult grown people out there that are just making this hobby, this wonderful kids game, such a dark place at
Mm.
times. And it's easy to forget that there can still be that pure joy that comes from just seeing a kid be happy about pulling a card, even if it,
Yep.
dude, my son, he opened up a pack of Fusion Strike and got the regular Mew V Max, not the
Yep.
alt art. But he got the Mew V Max, and he was so stoked because it looks so cool. It's got
Yep.
texture and it's pretty, and he was just so excited. And he did ask me, he's like, "Is this worth a lot?" And I'm like, "Do you like it?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Then it's worth everything." Like, it
Exactly.
is,
Yep.
eventually. But he's also 11, and he's now like moving into those like preteen years. So he's like, "Cool.
Yep.
What do I like? Is my stuff worth stuff?"
What's
Because
the value? Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Man, all right, you're at that age." So I'm like, your stuff, it's good if you like it." And I try to
Yep.
instill that in him every time he asks me. I'm like, yeah, Tyler, that's perfect. We're adult kids trying to reap from kids in the future. That's right, man. um, but no, we are like it. That's why I got back into this hobby, because being a Pokemon Go fan, I wanted the Team Instinct pin. I'll tell this story will probably end up
Yep.
coming up every week as I talk to everybody for the first time on here. But I just wanted the Team Instinct pin, so I bought the Spark box. And as soon as I cracked open my first pack, I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I'm 8 years old again! Like, this
Yep.
is fun. I'm getting Pokemon." And I had hollows in every pack, and I'm like, "This is great. There's hollows in every pack." Not
Yeah.
knowing, I had no idea. I was so blissfully ignorant at the time, even though so much has changed in over a
Yeah.
year. But I didn't know that like hollows weren't good
Yep.
anymore,
That they were
and I hate that.
guaranteed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but even in regular packs, I
In
mean,
holidays.
hollows are,
Yeah.
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 But even now, like if you get it in a regular pack, it's like, all right, cool. At least I didn't get totally smoked, but it's a 5 cent card. Um, Back in the day, and I miss that. I miss that so much. I miss the hollow being the hit,
Yep.
because there's a lot of great artwork, like Scarlet and Violet, for all of its faults and flaws, for all of the stupid terrestrialized hats. The
Mhm.
artwork is so incredible in this set,
Yep.
and I love that. I love that for the
Yep.
future of Pokemon. Sword and Shield had a lot of really good arts, but a
Mhm.
lot of it was kind of uninspired. Although Shinji Kanda is my favorite. He gave us the Giratina V alt art. All of his stuff is incredible, but like you have all the 5-band graphics and whatnot that it just feels copy and pasted from
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
All right, so we have, let's see, next on um We Kids Go Wild asked, Tenille, when did you get diagnosed with autism? All right, back to the serious stuff. I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, it was through the process of my breakdown to do with work. So a little bit more about that. So I was doing about 70 hours of work a week, getting paid for 38. And yeah, just had a full kind of breakdown. And then through that process, when we got me into therapy, was when we went through and delved deeper into kind of what was going on, and ended up seeing a psychiatrist, and they had diagnosed me as autistic. So yeah, and I can see Swadsy's just jumped in. Hey Swadsy, what is up in your South Australian time zone? We were just talking earlier about South Australians. Swadsy's in, Trev.
Ah, yes. Sorry,
With
I had
his
to go
weird,
restart the dryer.
his weird half-hour time zone. But yeah, so I was 28 when I was diagnosed, so very, very late. Went through school and everything, being bullied and all that, and then kind of answered a lot of questions once I got diagnosed. So yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Swadsy, how you doing, buddy?
Did you see Tyler?
Yeah, I did see Tyler's. That's so stupid. Tyler, knock it off. Stop it. I'm gonna hit you with the Mark Wahlberg. Stop it.
Wait until Trev sees his t-shirt.
Oh my gosh. All right. So Sniff is asking, this is a real question, Tenille, and this is a very important one. Have you ever fought a kangaroo?
I've hit one with a golf ball.
On purpose? Or
No.
on accident?
Accidental.
Okay.
So I played in this, you guys can look it up later, a place down the coast. It's called Anglesey, and literally it's the whole golf course is filled with kangaroos. So I line up a drive, and they weren't in the middle of the fairway when I hit the ball, but they've obviously started running across, and as my ball goes to land, I'm going like, bang, got one. Fine though, all good. Whatever, but it is a hazard. It is a big hazard. My ball rolled into the rough too, so I was actually more upset about that.
Man, see, I casually enjoy golfing, and golfing is one of those things where, like, I'm not great at it, but it's very relaxing to me. I could not imagine having a hazard like that, like just like having the rough objects. and yeah, I mean, that's wild. Goodness gracious, that's a better answer than I expected. So Kids Go Wild said, okay, I was wondering, I was diagnosed with it because of problems in school. And then my wife pointed out that her uncle wasn't diagnosed until he was in his 40s.
Yep.
Which, and that's the thing, depending on where you are on the spectrum, I mean, it can go unnoticed for years. They could, it can be misdiagnosed a lot for sure.
Yep.
Undead Driver rolled in. Undead Driver's here. So here's our nightly reminder that I have a Giratina V alt art, and it's in this beautiful art case that Undead sent me. Jay Macy's in here. What's going on, brother? Thank you for stopping by.
I love that you have the blue label too.
Yeah. I don't like CGC anymore after their changes, but I do love that it's a blue label CGC.
I love blue label.
I miss the blue label for sure. Let's see. Package Total says, speaking of side hobbies, I also collect silver coins and gold. He pans for that and metal detect. Have you or anyone that goes out to do you know anyone that goes out to find beautiful Australian gold?
Yeah, my nana's partner actually. And he got lost once in the bush. Parked the car, went panning away like in a rainforesty area. And just kept going with it, found stuff, and then couldn't find his way back to the car. Went missing for 4 hours. But it's alrighty. He had about $300 worth of just gold, like little pieces. So not bad.
Wow, no kidding. I don't know that there's anywhere I'd like to be lost less than the Australian outback. That's terrifying. Absolutely. Goodness gracious. Sorry, that broke my brain for a second because I really thought that story was going to take a really dark turn. Like he went out panning
No,
for
he's
gold
okay.
and we
He's all good.
never saw
He
him
still
again.
goes. Saw him yesterday. All good.
He went walkabout. We don't know where.
Yeah, we've now send him when he goes with a pack of like food and all kinds of stuff because sometimes there's no actual reception and you need literally a satellite phone, which he does not have. So now we just send him out with supplies so that he can at least last a night.
Well, we can get it for him for Australian Christmas. Outback has great bread, honey. Yes, Outback does have great bread. Actually, Outback Steakhouse. I don't know about the Australian Outback, but Outback Steakhouse does have great bread. It's probably the best bread. So let's see. Kids Go Wild wants to know: have any of you opened any of the prize packs?
No, I've held one, but I've never opened one because I've never.
Neither have I.
I don't participate in the league events. Yeah.
Right. I mean, casual. So yeah, I'm definitely more on the collector side of things. Although I look at the literal mountain of bulk that is in my possession that my wife so wonderfully sorts for me. Shout out to Mrs. PokeTrev's. She's the real backbone of this channel. And I think like I should just build a deck and I could probably go in and win. I mean, I played a lot. Like I said, I played a lot of Magic the Gathering and I loved deck building and I loved that aspect of it. I feel like it's one of those things where I get intimidated by, the people playing. So doing like the pre-release tournaments, I love doing that because you're just like, it's like a draft battle.
Everything's there. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You work with what you have and that's it. You don't have to sort through all the bulk and find out what's good in the meta and everything. So I've never opened up one of the prize packs. However, during oh my gosh, Harry Snorlax is here. Harry, what is going on, buddy? How are you doing? The best beard in the biz.
Harry.
I caught a little bit. I didn't participate in the chat much, Harry, but I did catch some of your GTA 5 stream this morning.
I just love his thumbnale.
Yeah, it's great.
I watched 2 of his GTA streams without realizing that was actually him in the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Like it just looks so legit that I was like, oh yeah. And then it was actually, I think it was Peter. He's like, that's Harry there. And I'm like, what? It is.
I tell you what, thumbnail making, that can actually bring us into our next topic. Thumbnail making, man. So your thumbnails are some of my favorites because a lot of like they're not like it's not like vaults, with Sticker Guy or Sticker Man. We'll call him Sticker Man. He's
upgraded.
Yeah, he's upgraded. In my eyes, Colton Kelly is Sticker Man. Colton, I know you're never gonna watch this, but
does that mean he gets his cape now?
I hope so.
Sticker Man.
I hope so. He deserves it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
There's no shame for Colton on this channel, but his thumbnails are so inspired and so well done. Jay Macy says he grew up. But so do you make your own thumbnails? How long does it take you to put together a thumbnail?
People have asked me this before and they hate me for it. About 3 to 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so so I stopped doing it because I felt like this is gonna be a multi-topic conversation actually. With the YouTube algorithm being what it is and the way that YouTube hates small creators and you have to work so hard with your title, with your thumbnail, with your description, with your tags. You have to do so many little gimmicks to try and game the system. I used to have so much fun for 5 minutes a day making those like if you go back and look at the lives, I've got all the Avenger, like different Marvel movies for my thumbnails with my face superimposed. And Jay Macy, I do need a Sticker Guy for sure. But no, like I used to have so much fun and it took me no time at all. Like there's my favorite one. It's me as Captain America, Vault as Iron Man. I've got Tyler Reagan as Thor, and I've got all of I've got the Rev head as Hulk, and I've got all the Ryans for the Ultron heads for the Avengers Age of Ultron poster. And it's my favorite thumbnail I've ever made. but it took me no time at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I got like, it was a live event, so it's tough, and that's really hard, leaning on live events for your views, I've noticed. But like no traction, no like push, no anything, because
Mm-hmm.
quite frankly, if you didn't, Tyler, yes, it was the best thumbnail, and it will always make a guest appearance every so often, just for fun. Like, I can't wait until I make it past 1K, and then like once I get big, I'm going to use that thumbnail again, and people are going to think it's the greatest thing in the world, and I'm going to be like, bro, you should have been here when I was at like 300 subs doing this.
I did one very similar, I think, but it was Avengers from the first movie.
Okay.
But the thing that got everyone is I put PokeTrev's as Black Widow.
Oh my gosh,
and
that is so funny.
And for like a good couple of weeks, everyone was calling him Black Widow and stuff in his lives and stuff. So,
That is awesome. I'm gonna have to bring that back next time I'm hanging out with one of good old Lucas's. I love PokeTrev's. PokeTrev's, he's one. And J Macy says, "Do you ride a lid?"
Is that a surfboard?
I don't know.
Or
is that one of those weird? I don't know. As far as I know, a lid is a hat.
I have no idea what they're on about. I was thinking a bin lid, like a trash lid.
It's a bodyboard. A bodyboard.
Oh yeah. I go surfing, and I'm a skateboarder. So yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Did you get one of the? Did you get one of the blind bags?
No, because they were like $600 here. So no.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I did have one on pre-order, and then they said they were only going to be like $250, and then kind of it blew up overseas, and then the place that because they didn't take any payment, they can change prices.
Right.
And they were like, oh, it's going to be $5.99, and I'm like, I'm going to cry. So no, I didn't end up getting one.
That leads me to a question that I always have whenever I'm hearing you guys talk about the state of things over there, because you don't have distributors, you don't have Pokemon. Like, Pokemon doesn't exist in Australia except for where it does. So there is always a premium for the pricing, but also the Australian dollar is so much like it's tanked, so much. So what does that actually look like as far as, incoming pay and everything? I don't know. Like, I don't know, like, what the cost of living is, like, what what you're actually bringing in compared to what you're putting out.
Yeah, so we've gone through quite a bit of inflation recently, and I know particularly like in my state, like people renting are finding it really tough at the moment. But yeah, I mean, like, Pokemon's obviously a luxury item no matter what country you're in. But yeah, it does make it harder, especially like Pokemon products have gone up over here as well. So in Aussie dollars, they used to be $6 to $7 a pack. Now some places are selling them $8 or $9 a pack. Wow. Which it does make things hard. In terms of like income, I'm thankful that like my partner, he does work at a school. He's in IT.
Wow.
So it's quite stable, obviously, education. And I was a teacher before moving to YouTube and retail at the toy store. So we're both in jobs that aren't really going anywhere. So it's quite good. But yeah, kind of the cost of everything has gone up, even food. Families are struggling. It used to be cheaper to buy bulk food, but even that's gone up, and so it's tough.
Wow, that's Swadsy. What a this guy Swadsy. He is just what a kind dude.
Does he have a channel? I've never heard of him.
Neither have I. I bet he used to play a lot of Pokemon Violet with his viewers, but doesn't do that anymore. Like a scrub.
I think that guy owes me a shiny Scyther in Pokemon.
Does he? Ooh.
Yeah, I think he got one for me, but still hasn't sent it to me.
We've got a bunch more questions here we're going to get to now. So Tyler Reagan wants to know top 3 favorite bands. Tenille, start with you.
Oh, I'm a country music fan. So.
Oh wait, hold on. Hey, honey, Mrs. PokeTrev, I know you've got us. I know you're lurking. Here you go. You have a kindred spirit, so I'm gonna go ahead and say I am not. My wife's
Yeah.
a massive country fan, so you two can
Yeah.
now bond. Go.
Oh, there you go. I'd probably say like in terms of like bands or kind of duets, Brooks and Dunn is up there. They're massive. Throw a left field one, Jonas Brothers, because I grew up when they were big over here, so they're always up there. And then I'd probably say the Pistol Annies. So if you don't know who they are, it's like Miranda Lambert and Ashley Monroe, and the last person escapes me. But yeah, so country music's quite big in my life.
Boy, howdy. I grew up on rock and roll, although
Yep.
that what it is. So my 3 favorite bands, Tyler, it's not a fair question because that changes a lot.
Yeah,
Linkin
because
Park
my artists would be different, but my
Yeah.
bands are, yeah.
Yeah, so my Linkin Park is always going to sit on that list for me. Queens of the Stone Age is always going to sit on that list for me, and I mean, Highly Suspect is a big one for me, but probably Bring Me the Horizon. I love the way that they've evolved and grown and changed so much. So yeah, I'd say Linkin Park, Queens of the Stone Age, and Bring Me the Horizon.
That's
are
very MySpace. Like Tom would have liked your little.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, he was
playlist.
he was
Who's your
number
number one friend?
one for me always. Then Jay Macy did ask in the questions, Tenille, do you write a lid? I saw the lid in the background of your other video. So I guess you had one of your bodyboards or whatever hanging out in the background, one of your vids. Better Value Charmander asks, are kangaroos like the deer of Australia?
Yeah, I'd probably say so. Yeah, definitely. I hear a lot of people in America talking about like you have to be careful driving on the roads at night because you might accidentally run in. That's exactly what a kangaroo is.
So, my wife points out Blink-182. Blink-182 is definitely up there. They're in my top five. But if I had to pick 3 bands I could only listen to for the rest of my life, it would probably be Linkin Park, Queens of the Stone Age, and Bring Me the Horizon, or Highly Suspect would flip flop with one of those bands for sure. Blink-182 is in my top 5. Going back to what you just said though, so that's a real thing. There's a phrase called deer in headlights, and that comes from the fact that deer will wander into the road and you'll be driving, and rather than moving, they'll just stare at you like, and you have to swerve out of the way or else you're going to hit them, and it's a bad scene. So my question is, are kangaroos like aggro deer? Like, will they like they see you and say, "Hey, come at me, bro! Like, let's do this." Like, they'll hit you.
Male ones are 100% full of testosterone, so they're the ones that you generally see in those videos going and boxing someone. They will literally do that. It's normally near their mating season though, so like when they're all macho and tough and gotta impress the ladies. So, but they'll have a go at you. Yeah, without a doubt.
That's wild. Will they go at your car? Like if they wander in the road,
yeah,
will they come at
can.
your car?
Yeah, same with like emus and stuff. Everything's very aggressive here.
That's wild. I mean, they do say that everything's out to kill you in Australia.
Literally. Even Harry Snorlax.
I believe it. Actually, no, I refuse to believe that. He is a gentle giant.
He's got the voice of an angel, if you've ever heard him sing.
Oh, I need to hear that. Harry, next time you're live, if you don't sing for me, I'm not.
Did you sing in
I'm
heavy metal band?
unsubscribing.
I can't remember.
Harry, please confirm or deny if you sung in a heavy metal band. If Tyler wants to know if you could own a black label of any chase card you want or any sealed booster box of your choice, which would it be?
Ooh.
I already know my answer.
Mine probably like this one's sitting on my desk. Like I'd do a Gengar VMAX.
Yeah.
For sure. That's
I know
because it's my favorite artist. One of my favorite Pokemon. I gotta keep
giving away fusion. You keep giving away fusion strike packs in hopes that somebody pulls it so you can keep it.
I've never pulled it.
That's wild.
I've only bought them, and it's literally the only alt art I can never pull. So
I got one.
It's literally your lost origin. It's like
you
just keep pulling.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, I got one. I say on accident. So Sniffy pulled me one in his stream, but it was a Fusion Strike pack out of a booster box. It had a white code card and everything, and I got the Gengar. It was mind blowing when it happened. For me, I would take a Black Label. I'd either take a Black Label Lost Abyss Giratina
Oh
V,
yeah.
because I just, the texturing on the Japanese card is so like it's mind blowing. The
Yep.
English one, they actually did a really good job with the texturing, which is shocking because a lot of Sword and Shield's texturing was terrible compared to the Japanese. If you go back and look at Sun and Moon and all of that, like the Sun and Moon texturing was really well done in
Yeah.
English. Like they did a very good job of trying to expand upon the Japanese texturing, but with Sword and Shield, they just didn't. That's why the
I feel
rainbows.
like they changed like
Yeah,
factories or something in between those sets.
right.
Like I feel like it just completely changed because even the hollows,
Right,
like
yeah. No, the
this.
hollow pattern's
Yeah, I don't know.
terrible in Sword and Shield. It's terrible.
I don't know.
They yeah, so it would either be that or just because I'd want to rip it open, I would get a gym challenge booster
Yep.
box. First edition, I would want to rip it and grade every single card in the box, like every card out of all 36 packs, because gym challenge is my favorite set.
Yep.
So our next, let's keep going back. I'm enjoying the questions. I still
There you
have a
go.
few.
Harry
Yeah.
did sing in a rock band and he supported Fallout Boy. There you go.
Did you? That's
Told ya.
cool. Yeah. I mean,
I've
I
got all
don't.
the goss on the
Yeah.
PokeTrev's.
Man, Fallout Boy. I only recently came to respect them as a band. uh, Kids Go Wild. I'm thinking of making a channel called Mountain Mew and drinking Mountain Dew in the beginning. How does that sound? So, all right, Kids Go Wild. Let me tell you something. Hold on. I'm gonna do this real
Have you
quick.
got your sponsorship ready?
Yep. All right. So, Kids Go Wild. PepsiCo. It's your boy, PokeTrev here. I am drinking Mountain Dew Spark for 10 of viewers. Please sponsor your boy every week, week in, week out. We are here. We are chatting with fans. We're promoting your product, and all we don't want money. We don't want product. Well, we do want product from you. We just want Mountain Dew Spark. That's it. Do the do.
That was good.
Kids Go Wild. I think that's a brilliant idea.
I think you're in. I think yeah.
You already earned my sub. Please send Spark or an adult. Harry Snorlax wants to know, Tenille, when will you be streaming Fortnite?
Whoa, I don't think I'd be streaming it on my main channel because obviously, like we've spoken, it is so hard to break into the algorithm, and then once you kind of stray from that, I do have another YouTube called Tenille Farms where I was going to play Farming Simulator, but I'm not sure if too many people are interested in Farming Simulator. But I could probably turn that into a Fortnite stream, I guess. But yeah, oh my goodness, Tenille's Fortnite, I guess.
Yeah, Tenille Forts.
Fortniting Tenille. Yeah.
It's almost like a flatulence joke, which that's fun too.
Yeah, but yeah, Harry got me into the Fortnite, and I carried them every single time.
Do you? Yeah, I'm gonna have to get we're gonna have to find a time where I can play with all of you guys that works for our schedule. So our oldest, he got me into Fortnite, and I feel bad for all the grief I gave that game over the last 6 years, because I was just like, oh, it's stupid, it's kids game. It's a lot of fun now that they got or came out with a mode where you don't have to build. I'm in it. Like, I love it.
Yeah. We played Only Up, and that's probably the only trauma I've received from the game so far. All the guys obviously have played it, and they're like gone, and I'm like, I can't even jump onto the shipping container.
I watched Harry playing it a few days ago, and I got so much anxiety watching this go on. And then when he finally fell, I'm like, all right, I've got to click away and go do something else, because it stressed me out. Like, I couldn't imagine playing that. So we're getting a little close to the end here. Okay, all right, here we go. Tyler Reagan, Tyler, thank you for keeping the conversation alive. Top 3 Pokemon card artists.
Top 3.
Mine. Yeah.
Oh, well, So would be my first. Top Tomokazu probably second. And then I don't really have a third.
Yeah.
I just kind of, I don't know. I just really like different art. I definitely don't like 5-band and all that. I don't like that
No.
digitally
The
created.
the digitally created and like it's the more than one artist in a conglomeration
Yeah.
style thing. Yeah, that's 5-band is the worst thing to happen to Pokemon
Yeah.
card art in my opinion.
And what are
I
yours?
mean, number one with a bullet is Kanda, Shinji
Yep.
Kanda. That's an easy one. Then Kamiya is a very close second, and then I'd say So is up there for sure, just because they're just so lighthearted and fun.
Yes.
Tyler says Tomo. I agree with Tomo. I love. I mean, Kamiya is my number two. Their
Yep.
art is. Them and Kanda have similar styles. It's very like pencily,
Yep.
with just bizarre lines. Kanda's a little bit more clean, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd say Shinji, Kamiya, and then either Soso or Tomo.
Yeah.
Easily
Yeah, and
there.
I'm a big fan of Soso because I also collect One Piece. So
Oh, okay.
Soso does some One Piece cards as well.
Okay,
So
that's awesome. See, that was
yeah.
one thing I was wondering, all these like with One Piece and stuff, was there crossover between artists?
Yeah, there are some. Yeah, definitely.
That's
Yep.
cool. So Tyler also wants to know top 3 Pokemon. If weird, why?
Do you want to go first?
I will. So my top 3 are Giratina, Bulbasaur, and either Chikorita or Cyndaquil. Mostly because Cyndaquil evolves into Typhlosion. But I just love grass starters. But yeah, that's an easy 3 for me.
Yeah, my top would be Scyther, Gengar, and then probably Espeon at the moment.
I like it. Good on you for not picking Umbreon. I like Umbreon, but I think Espeon's always been a superior
It's too
Pokemon.
mainstream.
Yeah,
Too mainstream.
yeah.
Like Gengar's pretty lucky to make it on my list, but
Yeah.
you know,
Gengar's great.
I don't
Pokemon.
like mainstream things. I'm not
Yeah.
mainstream. Why like mainstream? So
I liked Giratina before it was cool.
yeah. Did you play the games when
Yeah, so I
Giratina
played.
entered?
So I played everything through Platinum, and then fell off for a very long while. Then I played Black and White. I have very little memory of it because I played it when it first came out, and I beat it I beat it within 2 or 3 weeks and never touched it again. But I did recently get 3DS, so I kind of started playing Sun and Moon and started playing a little bit of X and Y. But I beat Scarlet and I loved it, and it was just so nice to re-enter that world. I missed out on Sword and Shield. But no, I love the games. But yeah, no, Platinum was a great game.
Yep.
I miss having the third game in the series. Like I miss having that like expanded version of the games.
Yeah.
I know like there's so many interesting and fascinating things you can find out about the planned version of Z for X, Y, and Z, and Black, White, and Gray, which ended up becoming Black and White 2 instead. J Macy says Sun and Moon or Sword and Shield.
Oh, it's hard because Cosmic, but Fusion Strike. So I'd go Sword and Shield. Sword and Shield hands down. If we're talking the cards, yes. Otherwise, if it's the games, I would go still Sword and Shield.
Yeah. So maybe it's because I wasn't involved in the hobby during Sun and Moon and I missed out. I'd say Sun and Moon because like I love Cosmic Eclipse so much. It's such a great set. I mean, Team Up is phenomenal, but Cosmic Eclipse is my favorite set that I have not gotten to open a lot of for sure. My wife asks, Tenille, are you able to do art or pens of realistic pictures or just Pokemon?
Yeah, I can do anything really.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah. Well, there you go, honey. Yep. Just I'm sure you have an email address and stuff that I can add to like the description, or I can just give it to my wife and she can reach out to you. Because art's great, and we both love supporting small artists and whatnot. Let's see. All right. Harry Snorlax says, when you both go to card party, who is both of your top 3 signed energies you want to get?
Myself.
Yeah, I mean,
just me. Maybe
yeah.
maybe one of yours and just 2 of mine.
Yeah,
You can go
yeah.
the
I
other way
mean, I'd
around.
say,
Start with
I
the
mean, that's why.
best. And
Yeah, I stopped sending out my signed energies to people because I just love having my unsigned energies. So just more from less for
I've
now.
got binders full, like of
Yeah.
my own. Yeah, especially fairy.
So my real
I'm not
answer
going to give them
is,
out unless people pay for them now.
yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. That's it. No. So my real answer for that is I'd like to get one from Ryan. I'd like to get one from Nick, and I would like to. I mean, I've already got Sean's. I'd like to get one from Pat. I'd love to get one from Pat. So Ryan, Nick, and
Yep.
Pat are my 3 for sure.
I'd probably go Sean because I haven't got one from him yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, well, you must not really be his best
he
friend then.
He sent me a whole package of stuff, but no signed energy in it.
He sure sent you a destroyed Zapdos, though.
Not even a cool sticker guy sticker. God damn it! All I got was a bent in half Zapdos.
Oh my gosh, that Zapdos was heartbreaking, dude.
I just love it because I watched that video and I was like, "Oh, that poor soul that ends up with that card." And then it was
you.
me.
It was you.
It's one of my prized possessions, actually.
Oh, it's great.
I actually wouldn't mind getting him to sign it. You
should absolutely get him to sign that.
It's already lost all its value. So.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it
Like,
lost literally all the value it possibly could have had the minute it left his hand or touched his hand.
Yeah.
Oh my! All right. So my wife would like to know: would you be able to make a pin of a dog based off of a picture?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit me up on the email.
Yeah. We'll do. Yeah. Yeah. Rough week. That's okay though. Yeah, it is. Let's see. Tenille, I might join for a month. The cheapest. Is it worth it? I'm also thinking of either sealed cards or Mudkip Master. Don't know what that. I think that's a weird. I think that's just a statement. Tyler Reagan wants to know number 1 chase card you don't have any. What? So you don't have it. What's your number 1 chase that you don't have?
Probably. Oh, what would I go for? It's so tough because I do pull or buy a lot of my chase cards.
Right.
Probably I'd love to get a first edition kind of like Jungle Scyther.
Yeah, that's a great card.
Like
Jungle is low key one of the best WotC sets there is. After like the Gym Challenge, Gym Heroes, it goes Jungle for me for sure.
Yeah.
Harry Snorlax says the Legendary Collection Snorlax Reverse Hollow. Thanks.
No worries, Harry. We'll get right on that, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the Reverse Hollows in Legendary Collection aren't the chases for that set. For me, it would probably be either the Galarian Moltres from Chilling Reign. I love that card so much.
Yeah.
It is gorgeous. Or I'm a really big fan of oh man, I don't even know. Like, yeah, I'd probably say the Galarian Moltres would be the big one for me, or like the Dark Typhlosion from Neo Revelation, I think it was, or Neo Destiny. Tyler says Jungle's his favorite WotC set. Kids Go Wild says Gold Star Mudkip. That's a good answer. Good answer. Good answer. Good answer. It's like Family Feud. Do y'all have Family Feud over there?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Okay.
Or a version of, yeah.
Okay, right on.
It goes
Does yours
on and
have
off.
Steve Harvey?
No.
Oh man. Let's see. Kids Go Wild says, Tenille, would I be able to ship you prize packs? Ooh.
Yeah, definitely. My postal's in most of my descriptions on my videos, so or you can always send me an email. Either way.
Yeah. All right, Mrs. PokeTrev's hopping off to go check out her courses. Thank you for stopping by, honey. Go to school. Yeah.
Go study.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for coming by. Tenille, thank you so much for being here tonight.
No
This
worries.
has been this has been such a blast. If you haven't already, I know Tyler dropped a link earlier, but her link is also ticking across the bottom of this. It is youtube.com/@handmade by Tenille, not to be confused with handmade, like Handmaid's Tale. So it's MADE, not MAID. Tenille can also be found on Instagram. Is it just Handmade by Tenille on Instagram?
Yeah, I'm everywhere. Same tag. Yep.
Yeah. Perfect.
Simplified it.
Yeah. So we are going to be next week. I'll be back with another podcast. Our podcast is going to be during the day, though, to accommodate our guest's schedule. This little dude, his name is Poke Closet. No, it's Poke Shelf, Poke Safe, Poke Vault. Poke Vault's going to be on next week.
Is he new?
Yeah, he's some new up and coming guy. Yeah, Poke Vault. He is I think just like 82 subs. Just a little fella. So we're gonna give him an opportunity here to promote his up and coming venture and find out what it's like being brand new on the
You're always
YouTube
helping the
scene.
little people, Trev.
I'm
Always
trying my
helping
best,
them.
Tenille. I'm really trying my best. No. No, I'm very excited. We're gonna have Sean on, gracious enough to to make some time to come out here and talk with us. So yeah, Pokevault is the most mid. He's got the most mid mods in the world, and just the middest guy in the world. Middest thumbs. His thumbs are like smoldering thumbs. I wouldn't call them fire. Smoldering thumbs.
I don't even think he has fingerprints anymore. I'm not sure.
I know that he's 3 for 3 on base set boxes and pulling Charizards out of them, so that's saying something. He's pulled 4 Charizards out of 3 base set boxes.
I just want Ryan to put a brick in one, take out the packs, reseal it, and just put a brick in it.
That'd be fantastic. Awesome.
Well, and he'd still somehow pull a Charizard.
He would. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on this Friday night or Saturday morning, depending on where you are in the world. I have been PokeTrev.
And I'm Handmade by Tenille.
We will see you guys on the next one. Peace.